Ich möchte so klein sein wie ein Staubkörnchen, das sich im Wind bewegt. Es fliegt überall hin. Es kann sich auf den Kopf eines Königs setzen. Oder jemandem zu Füßen fallen. Und es kann sich überall hinsetzen. Aber ich möchte ein Staubkörnchen sein, das duftet, das nährt und das erleuchtet.
Joyous to see all of you here. The words get lost. They have no meaning. So many of you aspiring to ascend to that state where you would have complete joy, bliss and peace. In this country, we had a struggle of freedom. I was a part and parcel of that. My parents were part and parcel of that. They were rich people, quite rich, I should say, from every standard. You'll be amazed, my father burnt all his suits. They were stitched in England. My mother burnt all her saris. They used to spin their own clothes and wear them. I had only one coat throughout my education. When I was in Lahore, which is terribly cold, sometimes can be like London. But we never grudged and never grumbled and never said that our father should have looked after us and done something. Why did he just sacrifice everything for the country? Never, never, never. That quality was created, I should say, by Mahatma Gandhi. He made everybody so transformed into a new personality. All the money that we had, everything that we had, all conveniences, all housing, everything was given up. Not only by my father, but so many of them. Otherwise, we could not have got our freedom. To get our freedom, this country has sacrificed so much. I must say Gandhiji had a special charm. I don't know how he managed. He was like touch of Midas, touched anybody, he became transformed. And he was an extremely strict man, very kind to me, to children, but he was an extremely strict man. He would not tolerate any nonsense at all. Throughout, if you study the way all these people were brought up, not only for freedom of or independence, but even before that, for spiritual life, anywhere, there's one thing very common is sacrifice. And the consciousness that you are doing something great. Consciousness that you are part and parcel of the whole. I've seen it with my own eyes. Such people in this country, whom you may call legendary, but I've seen it. Thousands of people were killed and butchered. Children died. Nobody shed tears. Nobody shed tears. Now, after that, we are here to get our freedom, to get the freedom for our spirit, to make our spirit free from our greed, lust, from your anger, from our conditionings, from our terrible ego.
We can see from one point of view that human beings are created as human beings. And they have mental, emotional, all these sides. Now they are guided by their emotional side, maybe mental side, also depending on the birth and all that. So they are bound by all these things. We have within us a power, I call it as Kundalini, which is kept in the triangular bone, which is sleeping there. So when you awaken that Kundalini, she passes through these various aspects of her life and she enlightens them. Not only enlightens them, but she binds them and makes them one. That is where we become above all these things and we become ourselves. This is I discovered long time back. But to put it into somebody's head is very difficult. But when it started working out, they would ask me how it has worked, how it has happened, what has happened. Then I could explain to them. I had a hand for curing people, and I had a liking for medical studies also. So, despite all other problems, I thought best is to do medicine. But suddenly my college was closed in 42. Moreover, my father was in jail. So we didn't have sufficient money also. My mother would sell her ornaments to get the money for education. So when my college was closed, my mother said, no, stop. We can't afford to wait. That's how I then got married. Then I started going to different people supposed to be preaching about spirituality, talking about spirituality. But what I found, they themselves were not spiritual. Very greedy, trying to want everything, running after women. I said, what sort of things these are? If they are like this, what are they going to teach me? So I gave up hopes. Then I started searching myself, within myself. Then one day, in a forest I was, with lots of people who were seeking. And I went near the big तालाब को क्या कहते हैं?
To the sea.
And there I was sitting. And suddenly a light came into me. And I saw it clearly that I am a satisfied soul. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. And that is the time when I saw few things happening. I felt later on, about 8 days later, that there is this power of Kundalini which rises within me and which pierces through the fontanine and all that, which is not a common experience. So I said, this can happen to everyone. You see, many boys also started coming, ladies also coming from the West to my group. Then my husband got a job in England, so I went with him and I started working with the English. It's worked. It all worked out. My husband should get a job in England, that I should go with him there. There I meet people of that kind. It's a fragrance of spirituality which spreads.
You are your own master, no doubt, but you have to be made into it. Unless and until you are connected to the means through this, unless and until you are baptized, you are not your spirit. Now the spirit resides in your heart. Nobody knows, you see. He resides in your heart. But you are not aware of it. When the Kundalini passes through these various centers and pierces through this one, then the seed of the spirit is here.
और लेफ्ट हैंड से देखिए कि सर में कहीं ठंडी ठंडी हवा तो नहीं आ रही, सर से ऊपर, सर से ऊपर. You see, the world is ready for it. That's how. Otherwise, it would not have happened about, say, 20 years back, I think. Now the time has come. It's a new awareness which is coming. You see, it is, I think, you see, it is a system where you are ready for something, you get it. People are seeking, no doubt. I didn't know they were seeking so much. I didn't expect also. But when I saw so many people, I was amazed. आ रही ठंडी काम का बहुत बड़ी बात है आप लोगों को, इतने लोगों के हाथ में ठंडा, सबको अनंत आशीर्वाद है हमारा. My father was a brilliant man. He was leader of the people who were fighting the British. Very learned man. He went to jail many a times. Last time when he went after 1942 movement, it was for 3 years regularly he was in jail. But there was one fellow who was a friend of my father. He came and told my mother that you must apologize because we don't want your husband to be in jail. He has so many children and this and that. My mother said, I can't do that. His will, he wants to go to jail, he has to go. Like that, you see, we have glimpses of very ideal type of people during that time. They didn't think of money, their properties, nothing. So sacrifice was immense. Nowadays we can't even think of such a thing. But I did feel that the English should leave our country. They have no right to be there. So I did feel that somebody has to tell them that this is wrong. So I had a great sense of right and wrong. But I didn't know it was spirituality. It was an innate quality in me. But most of the people in those days were like that in India. Because the urge of freedom was so great, and that people were fighting for freedom. So they could not think of all those things. Once I had to speak when I was 7 years of age for Mahatma Gandhi's fasting, and I spoke to thousands of people. I was a little girl, and I told them how we should forget about caste system and how we should marry each other. I was such a little girl at 7 years. Today is a great day because we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. He was such a great spiritual personality who had to suffer on the cross. This is what many people don't understand, that why a man of his caliber, of his standing, of his spirituality should have to go through so many ordeals in life. He did not feel the pain. On the contrary, he went through all that ordeal with such courage and such dignity. So, this kind of life that Christ had, you don't have to go through. He has done for us. Your life will be very, very safe and peaceful and joyous.
Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Sarvat Sadike Sharanye Triambakye Gauri Narayani Namostute.
I'm sure, as a mother, I'm not so bad. But as a father, I think I lack some things. Please try to come up so that I should feel that I did not lack in my fatherly attitude towards you. When we were fighting for our freedom, all of us were removed from schools because we were in the missionary school, and the missionaries believed that Christ was born in England. But we were such proud children, very proud. And now when you have got the freedom of your spirit, you must seek the comfort of your spirit. One has to bear the pangs. I don't mind, because it is my life, my mission, my existence, my everything is for the purpose of emancipation of humanity. Even The last drop of my blood is for them. So my satisfactions are very different. If I could do it alone, I would have done it, but I cannot. It's only through you I have to do it.
Permanent headache. So, all these ideas about religion and God and all that must be again reformed. There's no need to ring the bells or anything. Bells have to be inside. May God bless you.